It's Valentine's Day weekend, and I'm going to show you how to make a classic dish to surprise your partner or maybe even a friend or somebody else with breakfast in bed. Now this is an omelet, ladies and gentlemen, with ham and onions. Simple, clean, delicious. I'm going to show you how to make it. It's going to be wonderful. Now for starters here, we got some of the stuff we got. Now you see I already got ham chopped up. We got eggs, provolone cheese, an onion. Now we won't be using all of that. And butter, we also won't be using all of that either. You're only gonna use some of this stuff, but everything we see in front of us costed about $10, give or take, at Aldi. And like I said, we're just gonna use a fraction of this amount for the actual omelet itself. Now here's what I got in terms of hardware. I got a little cup to hold my onions when I throw them in the pan. I have a little bowl to scramble my eggs. I got two little spatulas actually because folding an omelet can be pretty tricky. I got a fork to scramble my eggs, a big old knife to cut my onions, and of course a nice wood cutting board. I also made sure to get a big old pan. It's really important to have a specific pan in mind with your omelet because it kind of form fits to the side of the pan like that. Now that's about an 8-inch pan, which is typically kind of accepted for omelets. All right, now boys and girls, we're gonna get started with some prep work here. Now I've already cut the ham because I feel that that's pretty self-explanatory. But onions can be a little bit tricky. This is how I like to do it. Now me personally, I cut off the ends first, just like so. Cutting off the ends like that gives me a good sort of vantage point to grab the skin. Now onions of course come in layers, and you're gonna peel off the top layer of the onions to get off this gross stuff. It's gonna leave you with something a little bit more like that. We're gonna cut the onion into little slices here. Going along the side, we wanna stay consistent, and we wanna cut into nice thin portions here so that the pan can kind of cook it a little easier. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I'm starting to tear up a little bit. It's what happens, but we have our onions cut, and we're just gonna keep going along the side here. And I'm gonna get them into sort of slivers, is sort of what I'm doing. I'm not dicing these onions. I just want them to be pretty little, little slivers, just like this. Now I have the onions in nice little portions, just like this. And this is about all I want for this particular omelet. This is a 3-egg omelet we're making. So I'm just gonna grill up these onions and actually the ham first. So I'm gonna go ahead, I have my stove and my pan, it's heated to 4 out of 10, so about low to medium heat here. I'm gonna get this butter in the skillet and just start kind of rolling it around there. It's already heated, so it's gonna melt. And I used a generous amount of butter, but the idea is the pan should be good to go when it comes to omelet time here. So we're gonna roll this around, go ahead and get my onions into the pan. And I'm just gonna actually all at once get my ham in there as well. The general goal is to just get this stuff all sort of grilled up for the omelet. That way I don't have to actually cook it later when the omelet's already done. So we're gonna just basically toss the stuff around until it is properly browned and cooked. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this stuff aside. I'm gonna set it on this plate that we had it on before, and we're gonna go ahead to the next step with the eggs. And I'm gonna basically crack the eggs, scramble them. Now we got a clean countertop here, so I am actually gonna do the classic little hit on the counter. We're gonna strike the egg just very lightly until we start to see a slight crack, and then into the bowl just like that. And we'll set the egg aside after that. We'll repeat that process for the rest of the 3 eggs. As we get a little messy, but we got all 3 here. You got the yolks, you got all the whites intact. Now what you're gonna do is a classic little scramble here. You're gonna focus on bursting the eggs and kind of go in a stirring motion like that. What it's gonna do is it'll get everything sort of mixed up together so that you don't have any sort of separation of the yolks and the whites. It's preheated, and we're just gonna put it right on there. Now right away, things are happening. We need to get in with our spatula and actively tend to the eggs, because what's gonna happen basically is at the edges, the egg is gonna cook, and now we need to make sure that the cooked edges get pushed in while the raw egg can kind of go out to the side. So we'll need to keep an eye on that. Now making an omelet is a game of balance. The heat is constant and pretty high, a little higher than I intended to be honest, but it's never too late because there's always all this uncooked egg. So basically we're gonna be tending to the omelet throughout the process and making sure that the egg juice goes where it needs to go, and we pull in the cooked edges, pushing them in so that the uncooked stuff can come out. That's the name of the game. Now this takes a little practice sometimes, folks. I'll be honest, I didn't get it perfectly on the first try. But basically you want to emphasize making sure everything gets cooked so that there's not undercooked or overcooked egg in your omelet. You want one continuous patty along the edge of the pan, just like that. So let's kind of work with it here. We got some uncooked egg right there. We're gonna kind of scooch it out just like that. And kind of continue that process across the whole thing. Now, you'll notice this side right here, at least this particular edge at least, is thicker. That's not so bad. because what I'm gonna do actually is use that as sort of the base, and the thinner half I'll fold over. So we have our onions and ham from earlier. I've got clean hands, by the way, just so you all know. But we are gonna get this stuff here on the thick half. That's gonna serve as the floor for the omelet here. Now next, I've got some provolone cheese here, about a slice worth here, and we'll sort of give and take. But I'm gonna rip it into little pieces and melt it atop the ham and the onions to sort of hold everything together. Now it's gonna be sort of an even spread. Make sure not to burn yourself. I'm gonna get a little bit here. What happens is, as the cheese melts and when I fold the omelet over, it can serve as sort of a glue that holds the omelet together so it has more structure. So let's come back when that's melted a little bit. Okay, now this is pretty time sensitive because an omelet can burn pretty quickly. It's on medium heat, but you know, it's been on the surface that whole time, and if we're kind of Mickey Mouse about it, the omelet won't turn out great. So we need to execute. We need to carry out the fold. I need to take the thin half here with these two spatulas and fold it over the top half so everything can melt and get to know each other. So we're gonna dig up this half here, and I'm gonna dig up this half here, just like so. Now you start to see the edge break a little bit, maybe. That might happen to you. Don't freak out. It ain't over till it's over. We're gonna fold the edge of the omelet over, just like that. And there we go, nice and solid. Now we have our omelet here, it's still hot, and the egg is hot, so the cheese inside is actually still melting as we speak. It's nice and toasty on top, which I don't mind, but it's okay if you don't dig that. It's really a personal thing. Now there's my omelet plated as I always hope, in all of its ham and cheesy glory. Because I have the palate of a 4-year-old, I'm gonna hit it with a zigzag of tomato catsup for my tasting pleasure. All right, dinner is up, ladies and gentlemen. Now I've got this omelet here, and I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try because I'm a big fan of omelets. You know me, I like cooking, I like omelets. Let's give it a go. Came out pretty good. You know, it was definitely a little touch and go there, as you saw earlier in the pan. I had it sitting for a while. The structure was a little iffy at certain points, but when it all came together, I got the fold pulled off. All the ham and the cheese goes together nicely. Everything's nice and melty. The ketchup is a nice little touch. And yeah, overall, this just came out pretty nice. So in conclusion, folks, we laughed, we cried. I made a tasty ham and onion omelet. Make sure to give this one a try at home. It's a lot of fun. And you all have a great day. And thanks for watching.